Pretty much for the whole of my life, I've been a big planner. I love to plan things, I love to create structure in my life, and I've built a lot of routines without me even thinking. And so when I've sat down to think about how I actually create routines, it's sometimes quite difficult to create like a step-by-step guide, and I think sometimes things will just fall into place naturally. But I do have some advice, and I want to share with you guys how you can actually go about creating your perfect routine, because we're all different, we all have very different lives and priorities, and we like different things. So my morning routine, my ideal morning routine, won't be the same as yours, but I think we can all take actionable steps to put together a routine that you enjoy and that you can stick to, and that will just add structure to your life if that is something that you're looking for. Definitely like this video if you enjoy it, comment down below, subscribe if you are new, and we'll dive straight into the video. I feel like routines, they are really good because yes, they add structure. It means you can be more efficient with your time, you can plan things, you can get things done in a set order, and it means that you can just do things without you even thinking. It takes away that decision-making step. It also means that when you're not so motivated, you can just fall back on your routine and that structure that you've created for yourself, and you can rely on that discipline when you're not so motivated. Like, I go on a run most mornings, and you know, I'm not motivated or super motivated every single day, but because that is part of my morning routine, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna put on my running outfit and I'm gonna get outside on a run because I'll feel so good when I come back. But you know, as I said, I don't always wake up and jump out of bed ready to run. That's just unrealistic. I also feel like routines are so good because you can actually create balance in your life. You can make time for your priorities and also actually live your life and not just always work or always do one thing. You know, you can create balance and structure and diversity, and as I said, like, live your best life, okay?
Hey guys, I'm currently out on my morning run. I'm almost finished actually, but as you guys know, like, getting fresh air and running is like so important to me, and so I think therefore reducing air pollution is like so important for not only like myself but all of you guys. I'm sure you can resonate. Like, we want to be able to get outside, like play sport, run, walk, just be in the fresh air without worrying about like air pollution and that having like serious health consequences potentially. World Athletics basically want to make clean air accessible to everyone, and I personally didn't realize that so many people around the world are breathing polluted air that like exceeds the World Health Organization limits, and that can lead to like stroke, lung cancer, chronic respiratory diseases, like so many health problems. So there is a link in my description box that you guys can click to sign a declaration which basically calls on like local authorities, national governments to like take action and reduce air pollution. I literally just got back now, you guys, but it honestly takes no time to sign if you just click the link, sign the declaration. We can all therefore do our bit to, you know, reduce air pollution and make clean air accessible to more people around the globe. So yeah, the biggest shout out to World Athletics for working with me on this video, and I honestly love being able to support what they do because, as I said, it means a lot to me, and I think we all want to be able to make fresh air like a reality for more people who live on the planet.
So I basically have some key steps or things you can do to create this routine that you're looking for. And I think the first thing you should do is you should always work out what your priorities are in your life, because if you're doing something that doesn't mean anything to you or it's not important in your life, then what's the point in trying to make space for it in your routine? For me, and like right now, for example, I'm at home, so I'm not really traveling, and my routines change a lot when I'm traveling. But you know, I want to make time for like my work and YouTube, creating content, holygemia, learning and biology even. But at the same time, you know, I want to make time for going outdoors, running, moving my body, seeing friends, socializing. So those are kind of like what I want to try and balance at the moment. Those are my priorities. The next thing I just want to talk about is like blocking out your time to create like a skeleton of a routine. And with this, I think time blocking is an actual thing. like a legit thing. So maybe I shouldn't use that phrase. But when I'm trying to create a routine, as I said, flexibility is really important, and I don't plan every hour of my day or every minute, every second. Like, I don't even go there. I don't like doing that because it's too rigid for me, and I like to give myself more flexibility. And I feel like if you are too strict with yourself, then it's almost counterproductive, because if you do suddenly slip out of routine or you get behind, it might just completely throw you off. So I prefer to be more flexible and just say, you know, that my morning is all about waking up, going on a run if I'm running that day or working out, and getting some work done. And then in the afternoon, it might be about like doing some filming, getting out on a walk or something. And then the evening, I'll have my evening routine, which might have blocks in it itself. And then I think linked to this idea of like blocking out your time, it's also good to be strategic or to strategize. Is that a word? Strategize? I think it is, but I'm gonna check with Google. Strategize. Yeah, it's a word. It is a word. Being strategic with the creation of your routine, or strategizing, now that we know that's a word. I know that, for example, I am most focused and most productive like first thing in the morning, and in the morning in general. I have an afternoon kind of slump, and then I'm also really kind of productive in the evenings, often really quite late before I go to bed. I just like get loads of emails done, or I suddenly work on something that I've been putting off the whole day. But for you it might be different, and so knowing that and knowing yourself, you can also build an effective routine. So you can be like, okay, my morning routine has to incorporate a dedicated session at my desk where I'm either like working or doing some emails or writing something, studying, whatever it may be. You have to know yourself, and you have to know when you're most productive, so that you can, as I said, like time block and also create that perfect routine that we're looking for. The next thing I just wanted to mention is like this idea of planning, because as I said, I have my routines and I tend to follow, say, like my daily routine most days. But then I know that every day is going to be different, and so that is when you have your kind of framework, and then I can fill in the gaps based on what I'm doing that day. So how I do that is I obviously weekly plan. I talk a lot about weekly planning, and I also create to-do lists for each day within my weekly plans, and then using that to-do list, I will number those tasks so that I can go through them one at a time within my day. I have a whole video about how I weekly plan, and I also have videos where I show you guys my full weekly plan and I go through like a to-do list week in my life. So I will leave some of those videos linked down below, as well as my digital weekly planner template download. I love it. It's tried and tested. It works so well for me. I'll leave that down below as well, because you guys know I have your back always. The next thing is consistency, and in this context I'm talking about being consistent most days with your routine. At the moment I'm like getting up and going on a run first thing pretty much, just because I really liked this routine when I was traveling, in that I'd wake up and I'd go straight out on a run. That was because it was super hot in Spain, so I had to get out really soon. I also really like it because it means that I just like don't get carried away working at my desk. I feel most motivated to go on a run like first thing. So yeah, this is the routine that I am kind of building for myself in the morning right now. I mean, yes, there are some days when I do have to do some emergency emails, but I really try not to. I try not to look at my phone. I try not to look at my Mac. When you first have a new routine, you need to try it out a few times and be consistent with it to check that you actually like it, and you'll eventually find yourself falling into this routine and you won't have to even think about it, okay? But I think it's so important to stress that you don't have to follow this routine, whether it's a morning routine, evening routine, full day routine, every single day to the T. Like, that is just too rigid, and it doesn't give you the flexibility to break away from your routine, which is sometimes so necessary just to give yourself a break. And some days you might just follow elements of your routine, and so that's why it's really good to have like your routine divided into chunks. Like, you might follow your morning routine one day, but then you might be going out and doing something different with your family, so you're obviously not going to follow the rest of your day-to-day routine, okay? You need to be comfortable with this idea of flexibility and change. You need to allow yourself to breathe. Like, breathing room is so important, okay? And also along the lines of like consistency, I think it's really important to, you know, be consistent with your sleep. Like, wake up or try and wake up at the same time every day, go to bed at the same time. I have such a love-hate relationship with snoozing alarms. Like, it feels so good to snooze your alarm and be like, I'm getting some more sleep. But at the same time, I actually hate it because it's so easy to do, and it just means that you don't get up when you wanted to get up. I sometimes wish there wasn't a snooze button at all. There was no option to snooze. Oh, comment down below if you snoozed your alarm this morning. I don't know how many people did it, because I did, and I'm owning up to that. And for me at the moment, like, I go to bed at midnight normally, and I wake up at around 7, 8. Which gives me 7 to 8 hours sleep, which is what I'm looking for. But you know, I would like to shift that, and I have been trying to shift it for so long, but I just haven't been able to like shift it to 11, 6, 7, if that makes sense. Like, go to bed at 11 p.m, wake up at 6 or 7 a.m. But within your routine, you might also put timestamps on things as well. So for example, you might say that you always want to go on a walk at say 3 p.m. if you're in the UK, especially around this time of year when it goes dark at like 4, 5 at certain points in the winter, which is horrific. But you know, you might say to yourself that you're going to do this at a set time, and whatever happens before that is kind of a bit more flexible, but you're always going to go on a walk or do something at a set time. So you can kind of just put pillars in your day. The next thing to add to your routines to spice it up, we could say, is to have variety. You know, balance is really important. You know, you want to be getting outdoors, moving your body, sitting down and working, maybe just working in different rooms. Obviously you'll have your preferred spot. So for me, I love my desk, but more recently I found myself, you know, taking my work routine or my day-to-day routine that I'd normally go through at home to London with me, because I love like working in cafes, and although I'm doing the same stuff as I would be at home, it just adds a little bit more flavor and adds something a bit more exciting to spice up my routine now and again. I've been having these Mojo shots at the moment. I haven't actually had this one yet. This is the ginger one. I had like this red one, and then the other one left in the fridge is like a turmeric one. I'll show you guys. This one was my favorite. It is turmeric. I say turmeric, but turmeric shot. It has like apple, turmeric, lemon, black pepper, and acerola cherry powder. And then this one, I feel like it's going to be so strong. Oh my god, it's nice, and then it hits, and then the aftertaste is quite nice. Maybe not. This video is about routines, not really like habits, but I think talking about habits is quite important here, because when you are building a routine or putting something together, if you're trying to incorporate something new, so for me, for example, I want to start journaling. I really do want to block out some time most days to just write and to just get down my thoughts. And this idea of like piggybacking here I think is really important, because you can piggyback something onto a task or an action that you already do most days. I wake up every single day and I have 2 glasses of water from my mason jar. I've done that for such a long time. I do it without even thinking. I love doing it, and so that's like a pillar in my day. I could say to myself that I'm going to start journaling after I've had my water every single day, and that could be a way that I start to create a new element within my routine. The final thing that I wanted to mention in terms of building your routine is to have routine resets. Okay, I often have these, and I normally do it when I come home from traveling, but a routine reset I think is so important, because one routine is not going to serve you for your whole life. You know, you're going to want to change things, you're going to want to change up your morning routine, and you might not even feel happy anymore, and it might be because you're just stuck in the same old routine. So I do encourage you to change and reset your routines however often you feel is necessary. And you need to also appreciate that your routine is naturally going to change as you change as a person, or as you grow, or throughout the seasons of the year. Because a morning routine, say in the UK for summer, where you go outside in the morning first thing to, you know, appreciate that sunshine, it's not going to work in winter, right? Because where's the sun right now? it's just not here. Your routine is going to change, and I encourage you to change it, you know, on purpose. So that's everything basically for this video. I really hope you guys can take something away from it. I encourage you guys to either think about creating an entirely new routine if you feel it's necessary, or just spicing up your routine a bit. Feel free to comment down below something that you want to add to your routine, like a morning routine, evening routine, whatever it is. Comment down below something you want to do. So as I said, for me it's like journaling. But yeah, as usual, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely like it if you did, comment down below and subscribe if you are new, and hit the bell so you know when they upload. Ooh, wiggle wiggle, my body don't wiggle wiggle. If you have any video ideas at any point, you can always share those down below or send me a message on Instagram. And yeah, as always, I will speak to you very soon in another video. Bye! My battery is dying.
Look, the snow is melting.
Oh, it's so cold. Oh, we've learned something today. That's great. Can you hear that cat?
Why is there a trolley? Oh my god.
Let's say good morning to this cat. Is she still there? Oh, she's gone. Milk her. Oh, hip click. Oh my god. Kisses. Kisses. Don't, Lord.